I can tell though, when I'm out of training with my job, I am not gonna be able to do 5 o'clock streams because it only gives me 15 minutes to do whatever. And it seems very likely that my job is going to cause me to go overtime because of how long calls I usually are. So yeah, this will probably be the last week I can do something at 5 o'clock. Anyways, hey guys, how's it going? We'll get started in like 3 minutes. Yeah, I get paid overtime. If the call goes overtime, or past my shift, it's overtime pay. But I just saw, we shadowed one live call today that went 2 hours. Because the guy who was on the call, he wasn't dumb or anything like that, but he wanted like the extra steps on how to do things, and he was asking a lot of questions. So it took over 2 hours. The only reason why it didn't go 3 hours is because the guy got tired. He's like, my brain's fried. I want to go, basically. My shit, man, that would be a problem. Oh, that's not okay then. It's not okay at all, Dylan. I'm okay. I'm just got like one of the most annoying diseases to man, the flu. Potentially deadly, but we got so many things they have on the flu now, so it's just really annoying. Yeah, I hear you, Nixon. 5 p.m. stream is a little rough. Yeah, this, like I said, this will be the only time, or last week I could do something like this. So, going forward, even for part 3, which I would want to do 5 p.m. streams as well, I'm going to have to push it to, pause violently. Yeah. Yeah. So, even for, well, they call it part 2, but for part 3, Corposant, which is even longer than part 1.5. It'll be at 6 o'clock. Okay, it's time to get started. So yeah, we're at the halfway point. Yeah, I'm gonna stop at the halfway point. So we're on it for 4 hours, so this should be probably 4 to 5 hours again. Oh, food poison is awful. Tired as fuck. I was bored at work, I will say. It's super duper ultra rare for any gachas to collab with each other. As far as I know, I've only seen it happen twice. The first one was with, I just had my mind, now it's gone. Yeah, it happened once before. Yeah, Limpus Company and I think Arknights. Yeah, Limpus Company and Arknights was one. And there's another one that's coming soon that was announced earlier today, I want to say. It was a Counterside and another one that I'm not sure of. There's one I don't play. Finish all the candies I sent. I haven't finished every single thing, but I went through the majority of it. Well, okay, I'm going to get started because we do got a lot of dialogue to go through. But one thing that I am thinking about is like maybe I should just do streams where I am just chilling. That we actually can just chat on stream, and I don't have to worry about having to go through all this dialogue. And we just like have a talk. Maybe a Falcon dance or two. Okay, hold on. Adjust the mic. There we go. After the aftermath at the research facility is dealt with, Igla calmly steps into the laboratory where Alva is confirmed. Well, Resident Evil stream? Possible. Costs money though to get Resident Evil 9. Her footsteps strike the marble floor with precise, rhythmic clicks, each step carrying an undeniable authority yet landing with the lightness of a ballet dancer's pointe. Aloha! Welcome back, Miss Igla! Chilevik is still wearing nothing but a loose white lab coat. By the way, I saw on Twitter about Chilevik. He's a... she's making the rounds on Twitter. She sits barefoot on a swivel chair and spinning happily, a cup of coffee in her hands nearly drowned in syrup. Her smile is dazzling to the point of being unnatural, while cunning and madness glint in her eyes. She lazily swings her legs, the faint curves of her body beneath the lab coat forming a stark contrast with the laboratory's solemn atmosphere. Please forgive me, I curse you, Lady Chilevik. Igla inclines her head slightly, then suddenly lashes out with a kick, sending a marionette doll nearby flying straight into the wall with brutal speed. What do you mean, maple syrup? The metal wall cracks open on impact, leaving a human-shaped dent. The marionette doll, dressed as a researcher, sticks to the wall as if glued there, limbs hanging limp like a mosquito slapped flat. Laboratory walls let out a groan under their strain. Good heavens, you brute! Chilevik jumps to her feet, dramatically cupping her cheeks, her eyes widen with excitement as she hops over to the foreign marionette doll, tilting her head to admire the artwork. I am much prefer this way expressing your anger, way more clear than shooting me in the head. Allow me to be frank, Lady Chilevik. Igla calmly smooths her sleeve. Her voice is velvet soft, but her gaze is glacial. You gotta stop doing that. They aren't, though. I believe I have made my position very clear on multiple occasions, and this will be the final time I reiterate it. Our cooperation is strictly between you and me. Miss Orphaline is not included. Oh? Now that's interesting. She definitely didn't say that, but we'll go with it. Chilevik claps her hands behind her back and circles Igla like a curious little girl, thinking aloud with exaggerated flair. Why bring up Miss Orphaline all of a sudden? Is it because my interactions with her made you, jealous? Or do you think I gave our dear little young mistress something I shouldn't have? She was never your young mistress. Naturally. But she's not yours either. I suppose I have been having some private exchanges with Miss Orphaline lately. After all, the young mistress needs someone to tutor her studies. And I'm just like you know? She's such an adorable young lady. I just can't help but get a little attached now that I've spent time with her. What exactly are you talking about? I'm saying I'm doing the same thing as you. Helping Miss Orphaline. A doomed eerie situation. The love triangle. Ah, but really, blame that old man. It's not because that fossil Oleg actually wants to bow to that Nafa goon called Kruger. In plain terms, that senile old fool wants to sell the
the Jiraku to the RNC government. But we, or rather Paradise, have always wholeheartedly collaborated with Gerard to help the young mistress advance her research. And while we're at it, make the Jiraku great again. Make the Jiraku great again. I remember reading that the first time. If anything proceeds according to Lord Orleg's arrangements, Gerard's cooperation with you will come to an end. Oh, that just... Not only that, that damn filthy bald geezer! He'd sell us out in a heartbeat just to save his own skin! That's a no-brainer! She suddenly stops and hops onto the lab workbench, her legs swinging cheerfully in the air. That's why I came to you, Miss Igla. You're not like him, you're smart. My hope is that you can stand against the pressure of with Nampha in his stead and protect the Jiraku, as well as our cooperation with Miss Orphalane. Miss Orphalane's Project Eden officially begins tomorrow, doesn't it? She has devoted 10 years of her life to this research. You wouldn't want to see it destroyed like this, would you? You like, get me. Igla makes no response. She walks forward slowly. She stops in front of Chidovik, inclines slightly, and places one hand on the surface of the workbench. The moment her hand makes contact, the surface lets out a faint groan, then collapses. The entire workbench splits apart as if ripped by an invisible force. Documents, instruments, and coffee cups spilling onto the floor in a chaotic avalanche. Yet Igla herself remains utterly still, without so much as a wrinkle on her clothes. And the only reason why I agreed to that foolish, presumptuous, and unreasonable request was to protect Miss Orphalane. If anyone dares to harm her, be it Lord Oleg or you, it makes no difference to me. Oh, come on, use your brain, my sweet darling Igla. Chidovik nimbly hops off the shattered workbench, clapping her hands together in a manic grin as a manic grin spreads across her face. How could I ever hurt her? Wasn't it me who helped you obtain the agreement Orleg signed with Nampha? Chidovik leans close to Igla, her lips almost brushing Igla's ear. That old man is willing to confess all his crimes in exchange for his own personal safety. Your precious young mistress is not even on his list. Igla tilts her head slightly and stares at Chidovik without expression. In the next instant, with the movements too fast to see, she grabs Chidovik by the throat and lifts her into the air. I hardly need reminding. Igla's voice is ice cold. Her usual air of elegance has vanished entirely by now. Even if the mistress weren't on that list, I would never allow such stupidity as to entrust her very life to another. You're right, that's exactly it. Chidovik smashes Igla's wrists in surrender. When Igla releases her, she drops to the floor. That's why we have to complete Project Eden together. It's Gerard's only chance to turn things around. I told you that already, didn't I? And your precious Miss Orphalane truly is a GN scientist, brilliant, diligent, full of ideals, and absolutely adorable. That's precisely why she's an indispensable part of Project Eden. Even if you kill me 100 times, that fact won't change. And more importantly, this was her research to begin with. I don't know what the counter is. It's you guys who should be keeping count, not me. Apparently it's 26, according to Recon. So once the project becomes our core objective, she naturally has to take part in it. So for your sake, and for the sake of our plan, of course it wouldn't hurt her. On that point, I have no objection. Completing Project Eden is Yamacha's long-cherished wish. However, Miss Orphaline is a noble scientist in pursuit of pure and lofty ideal, not a pawnee so-called game or your plan. Pressed away by Chilovic's words, Ila's hostility eases slightly, but when it comes to Orphaline, she yields not an inch. Chilovic rubs her throat. Rising to her toes, she peers up at Ila with an ominous gleam in her eyes. Yes. Young Mistress is nothing like me, she's a good little girl. But on that note, there's something I wondered, if you considered, my dear Ila. Once Project Eden is complete, Gerard will reach new heights, and her talents will gain worldwide recognition. And then, those little secrets hidden within her will become extraordinarily valuable. Ila's gaze turns icy once more at those words. Her posture remains flawless. Only the tension in her jaw betrays the slightest ripple of emotion. Pardon me for being blunt, but your insinuation is both vague and impolite. If you have a point to make, you could perhaps state it more clearly. I'm just telling it as it is. Truth is like candy. The prettier the wrapping, the sweeter it tastes. Chile prances right up to Ila, looking up at the most powerful third-gen doll with a smile both innocent and dangerous. Walls always have cracks, Miss Ila. What Paradise knows, others will eventually know too. There are no true secrets in this world, only truths that haven't been spoken yet. Should I take that as a threat, Miss Chilovic? Ila's voice remains courteous, but her tone is chilling. Even the air in the laboratory seems to freeze under her words. A threat? No, that's far too crude. Chilovic waves her hands exaggerately, then suddenly grows somber. She presses a finger lightly against her lips, her eyes flashing sharply. I'm merely offering a friendly reminder. This matter is of no consequence to me. All I want for Project Eden is to be completed successfully. You get to revive Gerard, and Miss Orphaline fulfills her lifelong ambition. Well, she might be a bit too young to be talking about lifelong ambitions. Cherished wish, then. Sounds like a perfect happy ending. As long as we don't consider the rest that may follow afterwards. Ila takes a slow, deep breath. What is your solution? And what do you want? First, Project Eden must be completed. That's the premise of everything. Stopping the plan to protect her would be the stupidest case of putting the cart before the horse. But avoiding risk is easy. Just don't put her under the spotlight. If you can retrieve 043 and hand her over to me as soon as possible, then perhaps I could complete Project Eden independently? She flashes a radiant smile again, a shrewd glint dancing in her eyes. That way, whether Princess Orphaline stays or leaves will be entirely up to you, Miss Ila. Speaking as a fellow scientist, it may be a bit unfair to her, but... She shrugs dramatically and spreads her hands. I value my partner's feelings more. And what you gain from this, from what I could tell, famous beneath you. Your friendship is the sweetest candy of all for me, Miss Ila. Besides, secrets only become resources when they're held by a select few. Chilovic winks playfully. But of course, everything depends on how good you are at catching mice. She sends the ball back into Igla's court and looks at her expectantly, waiting for an answer. Igla's glaze flickers. In the end, she says nothing. Her eyes turn towards Alva inside the specialized hibernation capsule. Through the observation window, Alva can be seen writhing in agony within a hallucination. Igla knows Chilovic is right. No matter what, catching Voimastina, retrieving O-43, and completing the mission she was given from the start remains her top priority. As for Chilovic, there will be a time to settle the score later. The hibernation capsule's indicator lights flash incessantly, alarms echoing as Alva's neural data register extreme instability. If not for Task Force Defi's interference, this wouldn't have become so complicated. Igla gently rests her hands on the capsule control panel and connects her port to it. A moment later, she turns back to Chilovic and inclines her head slightly. I will retrieve O-43. Please honor your promise. That is my only request. You gave me your word. Inside the capsule, Alva's body convulses violently, as if enduring unimaginable pain that intensifies further due to Igla's connection. Igla smooths the hem of her suit and walks towards the exit, her footsteps still calm and measured. Oh my. Chilovic watches Igla's receding back, then turns to Alva writhing in the capsule, her expression peculiar. That really isn't my fault, darling. I was planning to treat you gently. Ah, what a shame. What a shame. She sighs, then beams brightly again, hopping back to her seat. She picks up a fresh cup of coffee and gazes at the hibernation capsule as though watching a performance. Since your fate is sealed, might as well contribute a bit more data before you die, my dear. Alva jolts awake, gasping for air, her body shaking violently, like a drowning person finally breaking the surface. Sweat soaks through her clothes, clinging coldly to her skin, making her shiver. She looks down and stares blankly at her drenched clothing in disbelief. Something feels wrong, unmistakably wrong, yet she can't quite put a finger on what. She places a hand against her soaked chest, feeling her heart hammering violently as it's about to burst free from her ribcage, its dull pounding echoing in her ears. Sweat? A heartbeat? She looks around in a daze and realizes she is sitting upright inside a train. The train is moving at high speed. Through the window, she can see it crossing the desert. Yellow sand stretches endlessly in every direction. Fierce winds howl, whipping sand into the air, blotting out the sky and turning the landscape into a hazy blur. The blazing sun scorches the earth, filling the air with dry heat, as if trying to bake everything alive. The ground is cracked and barren, with not a blade of grass in sight, a hopeless desolation. Fissures crisscrossing the land like scars, speaking of utter death. This scene is painfully familiar to her. She has wandered aimlessly through a world like this for a full 10 years. Countless battles, countless clashes, all gradually forgotten in this contamination zone. You had a nightmare. Voimastina's voice sounds beside her, breaking the howling silence. It is soft and calm, devoid of emotional fluctuation, almost like an inorganic synthesized electronic tone. Yeah. Voimastina is seated opposite her, cradling a massive anti-material sniper rifle. Even though the weapon's surface is rough and worn, it still reflects a harsh, piercing, cold light. Alva remembers that back when Voimastina first realized her specs no longer gave her an overwhelming advantage over everything, she sought many alternatives. This rifle was one of them. Even so, in this desolate world, even holding such a weapon, Voimastina's towering figure still looks so small compared to the desert outside, insignificant, lonely, forlorn, as if forgotten by the world. Alva's lips are cracked. She opens her mouth and is startled by how hoarse her voice feels. She lifts a hand to her head and lets out a quiet sigh, trying to massage her temples to ease the stabbing pain. Only then does she notice her fingers trembling slightly, her palms slick with sweat. The sticky and stifling sensation is deeply uncomfortable. She takes a deep breath to steady herself, but ends up inhaling more dust, triggering a violent coughing fit. The image of Ange being swallowed by the tidal elix refuses to leave her mind, replaying again and again, tormenting her. And then there's RPK-16. Why was she the one who helped her? The one who stayed by Ange's side? I dreamed of Ange when she was still alive. I couldn't protect her. I couldn't protect anyone. Her trembling voice, filled with pain and guilt, breaks as though she might cry at any second. Whenever Alva thinks of Angelia, an indescribable sorrow surges in her heart. It's like being stabbed by a blade. Every time she looks back and remembers the first time they lost Angelia, she can't help but wonder if only she had been more perceptive and discovered the problem sooner. If only she had done a better job at protecting the AK-12 so that she hadn't missed that decisive battle. If only she had been stronger. If only she had made the right choices. Maybe none of this would have happened. Maybe Angelia would still be alive. Maybe Task Force 5 would still be whole. Maybe. But there are no maybes. Alva knows this. She knows this all too well. In this world, there are no maybes. Sorry, 15. That was a bunch of meaningless nonsense. I hardly ever have nightmares. I guess I'm just not used to it. She rarely has nightmares. Strictly speaking, she almost never dreams at all. Dream? Do I dream? That's right, she is just a doll. No matter how human-like she seems, she is still a doll. Dolls do not die, nor do they have heartbeats, or nightmares. They don't sweat either. She stares blankly at her sweaty, sticky hand, her thoughts momentarily unraveling. You're surprisingly aware. As Alva freezes in confusion, AK-15 suddenly speaks, her voice cutting cleanly through her thoughts. Her tone is completely different from before, cold and sharp, as if she had become someone else.
AK-15.
Everything that has happened, Ange's death, Paradis running rampant, and us being reduced to this state today, it's all because of you. Because of your incompetence. Alva's head jerks up as she stares wide-eyed at AK-15, who is now on her feet, looming over her, gazing down ruthlessly. Alva's pupils constrict in shock. She can't believe her ears. She even wonders if she's still dreaming or if she's fallen into another hallucination. Hallucination? This is nothing more than an illusion at level 2. Making excuses for yourself now? As AK-15 looks at the shaken Alva, a smile so derisive is utterly out of character appears on her face. Since Anja's gone, everything we've done has been meaningless. Day after day, we've been endlessly repeating the same hollow task of eradicating paradise. But has anything actually changed? 10 years have passed. Has paradise truly been destroyed? For every base we wiped out, 2 more pop up immediately. Tell me, what's the point of it all? Rising higher and higher, AK-15's voice trembles with rage, hatred, and despair. Even as Alva keeps telling herself that this is only a hallucination, her will still threatens to buckle. No matter how hard we try, no matter how much we sacrifice, we can never eradicate them completely. Even if we persist, we'll just be endlessly repeating a Sisyphean task. Do you understand? It's all worthless. AK-15's voice has turned into a roar. Her words crash through the silent desert like a thunderclap. All of our sacrifices, all of our efforts, none of it means anything in the end. We're trapped in an endless loop we can never escape from, and the one who caused all of this is none other than you, Alva. All of it is because of you. That's not true! Alva covers her ears and screams in agony. She wants to run or fight, but she can do neither. She can't move. Her body feels nailed to the ground, heavy as lead, utterly immobile. An inexplicable terror envelops her, pinning her in place. Hallucination? Why is she so certain that this is hallucination? Who's to say that the real Westina doesn't have such thoughts? At that moment, AK-15 suddenly begins to move. Her movements are slow, stiff like a marionette pulled by invisible strings, or a rusted machine that squeaks and groans with every motion. As she leans closer, her face begins to change. As it twists and distorts, her features blur like a sketch rubbed away by an eraser. Her eyes hollow out until they become black voids that seem to swallow everything. Her mouth stretches into a grotesque grin. Like a wild beast, she bears sharp fangs, sending chills down Alva's spine. That isn't AK-15. It's herself. You know I'm right. Whether I'm hallucinating or not, everything I said is true. And you are perfectly aware of that. The Alva before her reaches out and grips her throat. With her airway cut off, suffocating panic floods Alva's mind. The world before her gradually darkens. Is this how it ends? The train horn suddenly blares. The train lurches and rapidly slows, and the Alva before her loses balance, releasing her grip. At the same time, a burly figure slants into Alva, sending her flying. The train screeches to a halt. Rows of doors click and slide open on both sides of the carriage. As Alva clutches her throat and coughs, Voimastina yanks her up from her seat. Move. She shoves Alva out of the train. Behind them, furious roars echo from within the carriage. The doppelganger Alva is now covered in grotesque scars that crisscrosses her face like countless knife wounds, hideous beyond words. Her bloodshot and bulging eyes, filled with hatred and rage, lock onto Alva as if she wants to devour her alive. Voimastina turns to face the doppelganger. She glances back at Alva one last time, then strides into the carriage and swings her fist at the grotesque doll. It's your fault! It's your fault! That Alva begins to rupture and split apart into waves of Elid crashing to the ground, snarling as they surge towards her. Alva feels her breathing quicken, but she must stay calm. She must not be deceived by the illusion. She must not let her emotions take control. She has to find the flaw in this hallucination if she wants to escape. She takes a deep breath and grips the gun in her hands tightly, feeling the cold, solidity of the weapon, forcing her emotions back under control. The train doors close and the train begins to move again, carrying away Voimistina and the grotesque Alva, while the tide of Elids that has spilled outside rushes towards her. This is a battle she cannot afford to lose. If she loses, she'll be trapped into this illusion forever, never escaping, forever living in pain and self-blame, with no chance of redemption. Yes, Alva does have an inferiority complex. It's your fault! It's your fault! Oh yes, it is my fault. That's why I can't die here. There are too many things I need to do first. Bring it. I did see a number of questionnaires. Actually, a couple of questions. First question is, what is RPK's code name? RPK's code name is Pandora. Her actual original name is Nadia. Embla is the name she used when she turned human. Alva does have a inferiority complex, and it's almost unable to feel human. No, I think with that cutscene you might have figured it out now. But yeah, Alva's nightmare is her inferiority complex, basically getting amped up to 11 because she felt too weak to save Ange. Alva opens her eyes. She is sitting in a vast desert. Some distance away, the house of Elid Horde foretell the imminent battle. And just when she is about to run out of ammo, Angelina comes to her rescue. She just has to accept the fact that she will never be able to pull Angelina onto that train. She'll be ushered onto the train by RPK-16, then expelled from the same train by AK-15, only to start waiting for Angelina's arrival again. How many times has she repeated this cycle? I've lost count. She recalls what AK-15 just said. She lowers her head. What she is experiencing here is exactly the same as what she has been doing in the past 10 years. Going in an endless circle in a place that defies description. Together with the hulking doll, they have wiped out Paradise again and again whenever it appears in their sights. Yet as time goes on, the intelligence they receive leads them to a desperate conclusion. Paradise is reviving in some form, and that revival is accelerating. With her assistance and the support of their former comrades, Alva and Voimistina have both grown significantly in strength. But even so, the day they can fulfill their former leader's wish seems to be drifting farther and farther away. This place is both a nightmare and a reenactment of reality. Alva opens her palm, which reveals a small cube. That cube appeared in her hand when she got off the train for the first time. Alva peers at the glowing cube, yet still shakes her head. Even if this is only a nightmare, Angelina's appearance has given Alva second thoughts. But she knows she can no longer hesitate. Something has to change, Alpha thinks. After a brief pause, she touches the cube with her fingertips. The cube emits a faint glow. A blurry figure gradually takes shape in front of her.
どうしたのアルバ
What's wrong, Alpha? Got yourself in a bind?
AK-12
Alpha stares blankly at that familiar yet somehow distant figure. It's been 10 years since you last saw her in this form.
まさかこんな時まで
Who would have thought I still had to rely on you even here?
私のことが意外
That's so.
でも
You do know that everything here is a construct of your own simulation, right?
出したのよ
Akito casually looks around before letting her gaze settle back on Alpha.
私がいると
My appearance will only draw the external attacks to you faster. Are you sure it's okay?
いいの知ってる
I know. I just wanted to see you.
会いたかった相変わらず甘え上手
Alpha Chica is still such a baby.
せっかくあのキューブ
That cube.
あいつが
She has already helped you. Why keep yourself trapped here?
私は
A gentle smile graces AK-12's face, her eyes remaining closed.
本当は自分でもいい
You don't want to keep doing things that seem meaningless even to you, do you?
意味がないとは思ってない
I don't think what I'm doing is meaningless.
じゃあ
Then why trap yourself here?
ここにいるの私は
I've always done what I believe was right,
正しいと思うことをやってるだけ
but that sense of rightness has grown blurry with
で
time.
も何かを変えることが
I
できた
can't tell whether my past efforts have truly changed anything.
アンジェ
I
ル
don't
に意志
know
を
whether,
告げられたの
as the
か
leader
わ
of
から
Task
ない
Force Defy, if I'm really carrying on Angie's will.
自分が信じられない
Have you fallen into the trap of self-doubt?
人形なんだから
You're a doll.
そんなこと考
Thinking about such meaningless things is, in itself, meaningless for you.
なのにそれで
And yet these thoughts still plague your neural cloud like a nightmare. Isn't that ironic?
私はただ
I'm just afraid that I won't be able to achieve Angie's goal.
じゃあアンジェの目的は何だと
And what exactly was Angelia's goal?
パラデュース
She wants to eradicate Paradise for good.
自分のために
She wants to rid the world of those who try to use the power of the relics for their own ambitions.
本当にそうだと思う
Is that what she really wanted? What?
アンジェはあなたに本音を言わなかったんだ
She never told you her true ideals, did she?
あるいは
Perhaps all this is nothing more than your own wishful thinking.
アンジェは失敗の決まった道
She fell on a path that was destined to fail,
なのに
and your new followers
あ
are
なたたち
repeating the same
は
mistake.
今もその後を追っている彼女は叶うあても
Her
ない
ideals are too
壮大すぎ
lofty,
る理想
so lofty that she couldn't possibly pay the price to realize it. So lofty that even those who tried to carry on her will after she's gone couldn't understand it.
暗闇の中で光を追って
Angelia merely followed her instincts towards a place that seemed to shine with light,
断崖絶壁だ
only for that place to be a sheer cliff.
あなたたちもそこから
She
降
fell.
りるつもり
And you? Are you going to become another lost follower?
10年経っても
10 years have
何も変
passed.
わらなかったのに
Has anything truly changed?
どうして私が今もここで
Do you know why I'm stuck here listening to your lecture?
わかるどうして
Why?
あなたの言ったことはすべて
Because I know
私の
these are all
方針
thoughts
が
born from my own neural cloud. The smiling AK-12 gradually turns into Alpha.
そして同時に私が克服
This is my
すべき弱
weakness.
点でもある
An obstacle I had to face and overcome.
アンジェがどうして諦め
I always wondered why Ange
ずっと
kept struggling even in such utter despair.
私はアンジェの言
I
葉を
remember something she once said. If everything in life is futile,
もし人生が徒労に
what is the
終
point
わ
in
りさま
struggling?
あがく意味はどこにあるのかしら今の私じゃ
I know I don't have all the answers right now.
多分アンジェも同じ疑
I
問を
think
自分に
Ange
投
may
げ
have
続け
been
てきたんだと思う
questioning herself with the very same doubts.
そしてアンジェの答
Her
え
answer to that particular question was,
その答えを一生
I
か
will
けて
answer that
探す
question my entire life.
そう
Yes.
希望が見えなくても
Even if no hope is in
変わる
sight,
日まで進まなく
someone
てはい
still has to keep moving forward. One day, everything will change. Indeed, I may not be able to truly understand what Ange wanted to achieve, but I know this much. As long as so long as we haven't given up, her will lives on. As long as I keep going, I haven't betrayed the oath of Task Force Defy. The owl before her smiles serenely, finally at peace. Choices always come with a price. She paid the price for her choice. Well, what about you? I'm willing to do the same. If that is your choice, then let's see whether you truly have the strength to back it up. Didn't someone in Frontline 1 say Ange let it defy because they would jump off a cliff with her, but the air team would try to stop her from jumping? I feel like that comparison was made, but I'm not sure if it was that particular line. Or that particular quote that was said. I'll have to take a look at that after the stream, I guess. Alva begins to split apart, rupturing to hordes of Elis that crash into the ground, snarling as they lunge towards her. But now Alva is no longer stricken with panic. She simply tightens her grip and raises her weapon, aiming it at the Alva before her. I've wasted some time. I suppose I have to pause it properly after the Voimasina. But I had to keep moving forward, because not moving forward is not an option. Isn't that right, Anji? Hell yeah, more elids. Nixon. I don't know where that came from. Shaw's a bitch and I ate it. Yeah, I think opinions regarding Shaw's like split down the middle. Yeah, I kind of remember something like that in Trintics. I gotta look for it though. Because it's very true. The desert, the yellow sand, the campfire, and the endless elid all vanish without a trace. All that remains before her eyes is a vast expanse of pure white. What is this place? Her neural cloud is no longer at the mercy of hallucinations. She calmly awaits the final conversation. Alva looks up at the sky. There is no sun, no moon, no stars, only a pristine whiteness, like an immaculately spotless ceiling. She looks around in confusion, sensing the stillness of this world. When she first opened her eyes, the surrounding white seems shrouded in a thin mist or vapor. As she begins to observe more closely, that haze slowly fades away. Even though everything remains flawlessly white, Alva has already recognized it. She is in that mansion. The carpet, the walls, and the furniture, all white, blend perfectly into the white background, However, if one looks carefully, the shapes can still be discerned through the light and shadow. If she were equipped with Wolf Eye, she would have figured it out much more easily, Alva thinks.
やっと来たわね、アルバ。
You finally made it here, Alva.
アンジェ。
That's still a really fucking good picture. Holy shit. As if she has known Angelia would appear all along, Alva turns towards the source of the voice. Angelia is wearing a long, pure white dress, almost completely merging with the background. Only her familiar face and confident smile stand out clearly. She looks more mellow than Alva remembers, not a trace of battle left upon her. Alva is slightly taken aback by Angelia's unfamiliar appearance. Angelia steps forward lightly and reaches out to stroke Alva's cheek. The sensation is warm and real.
久しぶりね、アルバ。
But it's been a long time. Seeing Angelia dressed like this fills Alva with an inexplicable sense of familiarity and comfort. She doesn't know what to say. She can only keep drinking in the sight of Angelia, as if trying to etch this image deep into her neural cloud.
10年ぶりかしら。
It's been 10 years, hasn't it?
はい。
That's right. 10 years.
一瞬だったわね。
Ah, good heavens. So much time has passed in the blink of an eye. Angelia scratches her head with a self-mocking smile, unsure of where to begin.
どう？みん
By
な
the way,
元気？
how have you been all these past 10 years? Alva wants to speak, but it feels as though something is lodged in her throat. She gazes at Angelia, a flood of complex and indescribable emotions surging within her. Angelia takes Alva's hand and leads her slowly through the pure white mansion. Alva steadies herself and tells Angelia about Task Force Defi's battles over the past 10 years, about forming a new anti-relic organization, about dismantling Paradise bases one after another. Anne simply listens with a smile as 10 years worth of words gush out of Alva's all at once.
ケビンもネイレも助けてくれました。
Kevin and Nayla has been helping us as well.
潜水艦基地で
Do you remember the
助けた
child we
子供
rescued from the submarine
覚えて
base?
いますか？私と同じ名前の子？
The one with the same name as me?
はい。
Yes,
アンナで
Anna.
す。成長して今やもう一人前に。
She's all grown up now. She can stand on her own 2 feet.
一緒にいた子供たちも。
And the other children who are with her, they're all alive and well.
そう。
That's so.
よかった。
It's wonderful. Suddenly, Angelia stops walking. She turns to Alva and asks her, in the same casual tone one might use to ask what to eat for lunch.
アルバ、この10年
It's been 10 years, Alva.
諦めようと
Don't you want to give up?
ないの？どうしてそんなことを？
Why bring it up all of a sudden?
パラデウスは巨大すぎる。
Paradise is too vast.
根絶するなんて
Maybe you'll never be able to
無理
defeat
かも
it.
しれない。全てを投げ出すのも
Maybe you could stop and find a life of your own.
と言っても、
I say that,
あなたは
but I'm
聞か
sure
ない
you'd
でしょ
never agree to that. Would you?
はい。
No.
私は
I
ま
can't
だ
stop
止まるわ
yet.
けには。
I... Before Alva can finish, Angelia gently pulls her into an embrace, speaking in a voice like she's soothing an exhausted child to sleep.
あなたたちに何もかも
I'm sorry.
申
I
し
just
訳な
went
く思って
and
る
let
わ
everything to you a lot.
この10年
These 10 years must have been hard on you and the others. Alva doesn't reply. She just holds Angelia tightly.
それでもあなたたち
Even through
は
all that
ここまで
pain, all that confusion, you kept going all this time.
見違えるように頼もしくなって
You got mature, dependable,
安心したわ。
and reassuring. Reluctantly, Alva lifts her head. After a long while, she whispers something so softly it's almost inaudible.
もし
If only
あなたが生き
you
て
were still here.
私も
I wish I were
あ
here
なたた
too,
ちのそばにずっと
but you have to accept the fact that I'm already gone.
でも一番大変な時
I'm sorry.
ごめ
When
んなさい
everything became even harder to bear. All I could do was stand by, powerless. It's okay. You once lived. That's good enough for me. That's true. That's true. A dead person isn't worth all this pining. It's time to end this. Stop frying your own neural cloud with this simulation. What should I do? I don't want to give up, but sometimes I really don't know what I should do to make things better. To be honest, I don't know either. You're already far more dependable than I ever was. If I've been as reliable as you are now, maybe things wouldn't have turned out that way. Just kidding. Still, maybe I can offer you a small piece of advice. Advice? Make doing the right thing your goal, rather than following my exceptions. Praying on my will doesn't mean being trapped by past doctrines. Find the purpose that you believe in. My purpose? You must have saved a lot of people over these 10 years, just like we used to. Do you regret putting effort into that? How could I ever regret saving lives? Then keep at it. Use your strength to save innocent people. Keep doing it again and again until the day you truly find the right path. One day, we'll realize where the path of righteousness and justice in our hearts truly lies. Haven't we always been feeling our way forward like that? As long as you girls are around, those people full of bad intentions won't have a peaceful night's sleep. So go ahead and keep defying them. Alva chuckles in relief, and Angela laughs along with her. You're right. One day, I'll put them to a good sleep that they'll wake up from. I am looking forward to that day. Angela stretches, walks a few steps forward, then turns back to look at Alva. Alright, it's about that time. I said a lot of things that sound very unlike me. After all, the me here isn't really me. But I believe Angelia would have said pretty much the same. Maybe a bit more gruffy. The me in your language is far too gentle. You know the way back, right? Alva takes out the cube. Before activating it, she prepares to say her final goodbye to Angelia. I'm so glad I could talk to you. You're quite sly, you know. If those people realized you were using the computing power from the attacks to do something like this, they would grind their teeth in fury. Alva laughs and shakes her head. That's thanks to her help. Otherwise, I don't know if I could have held on. True enough. Some regards to the others for me, and tell them it's time they let me go. Alva opens her palm. The cube glows brightly. She closes her hand. When she opens it again, the cube has transformed into a familiar MP443. Do it, Alva. Alva raises the pistol. In the sights, Angelia smiles and waves at her. As Angelia falls, her body dissolves into countless specks of light. The white space finally fails to hold, collapsing in vast swathes and revealing the endless darkness beyond. Before everything returns to nothingness, Alva seems to glimpse a blurry figure standing in the distance. The figure simply nods once, then turns away, fading away along with the collapsing white world.
私は
I'll keep moving
進
forward,
み続けます
Angelia. Yeah, this is my second time. Federico. This is my second time reading that. And even I was getting a little bit emotional still towards the end there. So yeah, looking at people on Twitter for that cutscene, they're saying, I'm fucking crying, guys! I'm ugly crying! Like, I saw one Twitter posting like, guys, I can't keep reading this. I had to step away from Twitter for a while. So yeah. It's doing its job. That said, I remember when I first read that portion for the first time, I kind of killed the vibe because I kept thinking about why Angelia's chest kept changing in size for every portrait she has. I was like, guys, I keep thinking about this, and I gotta say this. Why isn't her chest staying the same? No support, bro. It's the future. They do that. Okay. The familiar hum echoes in her ears. The sounds of countless instruments and machines interweave into an endless industrial symphony. Inside the hibernation capsule, the cold touch of metal presses in from all sides, binding Alpha tightly and leaving her unable to move. Alpha slowly opens her eyes. Her vision shifts from a blur to clarity. The scene before her is no different from before. She is in the same narrow, specially designed capsule, with the same busy marionette doll researchers milling about outside. And through the observation window, legs crossed as she perches on the high stool, is Chilovic. Oh my, Sleeping Beauty's finally awake! Chilovic springs up exaggeratedly and scampers to the observation window, pressing her entire face against the glass. Her distorted grin looks eerie and slightly comical. She taps the glass with a finger, as if knocking on a fish tank. How absolutely marvelous! She suddenly falls back a step, cupping her face with one hand, eyes wide. I thought this little brain would be turned to total mush this time for sure. And yet, here you are, regaining consciousness. Miss Eva cranked the power dial way past the red line. How terrifying. She lost mass after her accident. Okay. Chilovic spins as she talks, making a little gesture beside her temple to convey how mind-blowing she finds the situation. Then abruptly freezes. She bends down and presses her face against close to the window again. Looks like I really underestimated Pandora's endurance. Samantha Shaw's masterpiece indeed. She bares her teeth in a wide grin, then suddenly slumps in disappointment, letting out an exaggerated sigh as her shoulders droop. What a shame. I was actually planning to recover your data fragments and put your neural claw back together piece by piece, like a puzzle. Might have found something interesting. She stretches shapes in the air, as if assembling an imaginary jigsaw. But it's now apparent that even if I really wanted to destroy your little brain, I probably couldn't. She shrugs, then abruptly puts on an expression of sympathy, blinking her big eyes and pouting her lips in an exaggerated manner. Oh, right, my dear Alva-chica. I'm so terribly sorry for the pain you just went through. She strikes an over-the-top pose and apology. Right hand to her chest, left hand drawing circles in the air. Who would have guessed that my dear partner, the ever-elegant and refined Miss Igla, has always says please to everyone, will completely lose her shit over a few harmless jabs from you. But don't worry, sweetheart. I wasn't the one who turned the power up that high. Miss Igla was the violent maniac who twisted the dial all the way up. She presses a finger to her lips in a conspiratorial, shushing gesture. But Igla went way past the safety limits, even past what I expected. My goodness, I was scared of my mind. Even I wouldn't dare turn the power up that high. Who knows what might happen? The whole lot could have blown up. Boom! Oh, really, Darlene? How can I stop her? You know better than I do. She's a complete monster. If she loses her temper again? Who knows what'll happen? I might really get chopped into little pieces. She makes a throat-slitting gesture, sticks out her tongue, then breaks into giggles. Alpha merely watches her manic display in silence, her eyes utterly flat. Oh dear, did I rabble too much about Igla? Chidovik suddenly stops and lightly smacks her own cheeks, as if admonishing herself. You're the star here. Isn't that right, Alva-chica? She smiles sweetly, licking her lips as her tone suddenly becomes low and enticing. You survived that. Impressive. But miracles aren't infinite, you know. You, of all people, should understand now how painful a neural assault can be. She leans against the observation window, fingertips gliding lightly across the glass. So maybe now you'd be more inclined to tell me a little secret? Hmm? She tilts her head, her voice almost coquettish. Yet a dangerous glint shines in her eyes. Alva doesn't answer right away, even though she senses that she might have regained the ability to speak, whether because her condition has improved or because she has disabled some restrictions, she doesn't know. Regardless, she simply stares at Chidovik. Her gaze is utterly calm and still, like stagnant water, without the slightest ripple. So that little bit of pain was nothing to you, huh? Chidovik pouts and stomps her foot like a child denied candy. Then her expression rapidly shifts. She leans close to the glass, a cruel smile spreading across her face. Figures. After all, you're a bunch of monsters who never experienced death. Alva's eyelids twitch. What do you want me to tell you? I've been in prison here for a long time. You are probably more aware of what my senior or 4 degrees whereabouts than me. As for the information about Task Force Defy, Paradise already knows more than enough. You're the ones hiding in the shadows. We're the hunters. No, my dear, you got it all wrong. Chidovik wags her finger and prances away. I'm not interested in that stuff at all. Only Miss Igla worries about that kind of boring nonsense. I thought you were partners. Allow me to correct you, sweetheart. We're just collaborators. It's a working relationship. A pure exchange of interest, like pizza and cola. Totally different, but they sometimes show up together. She wags a finger like a strict teacher, even though the analogy might have as well come from a child. At the moment, we just happen to share a goal. That hardly makes us comrades. I like her sword. She needs my brain. Simple as that. I said partners. Our aspirations aren't even the same. How long do you think this partnership can last? Her smile suddenly vanishes, and her tone turns grave. Tell me, the task force defy make it this far, bound together by interest alone? Alva lifts her head slightly. Since their encounter at that base, this is the first time she truly meets Chilovic's eyes. Then what is your aspiration? Chilovic snaps her fingers lightly, and her grin reappears. With that gesture, the marionette doll researchers bustling around the lab all freeze, turn, and stare at Alva with hollow eyes. They stand in perfect unison, like soldiers awaiting orders, silently watching her, an oppressive presence. Chilovic slowly walks back to the observation window, her voice dripping with temptation. To be honest, though, even though I love chatting and talking and acting like I know everything, I still think I don't know enough about you Defy dolls. You're always scurrying around like rats, after all. But this much I know. You harbor an almost obsessive hatred for Paradise. I find that hatred fascinating. Yes, confusing. Her voice grows somber, and a fanatic light blazes in her eyes. To me, Paradox's research is nothing short of a miracle. Technology that can surpass humanity's current limits. She throws her arms wide as if embracing the entire world. We're exploring the mysteries of life, creating miracles of evolution. It's like magic, only better, because it's science. Her eyes gleam as she stares into empty space. Even if it requires some small sacrifices along the way, incurs a few negligible costs, the final result will be beautiful, worth it, so dazzling, so exquisite. Just like baking a cake, you have to break a few eggs. She mimes cracking eggs, then lifts her hands as if presenting it an invisible cake. We'll lead humanity to the next stage of evolution. We'll create a brand new, better world. She pauses, her tone softening like she's speaking to a lost child, though the fervor in her eyes remain. And you, sweet Alva, you could have been part of that new world. You have such a powerful neural cloud, such extraordinary potential, yet you're trapped in this outdated shell, bound by the meaningless hatred. What a waste. Such a terrible waste. Chilovec theatrically wipes away non-existent tears, lamenting Alva's incomprehensible choice. So how about it, Avalchica? I'll give you a choice. A chance to let go of the past and embrace the future. If you join us, I'll grant you one wish, one you can't possibly refuse. A wish? That would be... Ta-da! Reviving your former commander! She drags out each syllable, her voice tantalizing. At the sound of Antelia's name, Alva's pupils contract slightly. You see me come back from the dead twice! You know I can do it! She grins as she mimes clawing her way out of her grave. Even though 10 years have passed, the engrams of Antelia's consciousness has been preserved in Paradise's database this whole time. The moment you give the green light, I don't even need all the 5 members' approval, just yours. I'll give her back to you. As far as I know, that's the biggest source of hatred you have towards Paradise anyways. Well, it's a fair deal, right? A perfect win-win, you ask me. Chilovec sways smugly, watching Alpha's reaction, convinced she struck her weakness. Do you really mean it? Chilivic's eyes light up, a satisfied smile spreading across her face. Of course, sweetheart! I'm Dr. Chilovic! Chilovic never lies, at least not to her friends. She places one hand over her heart and raises the other high in a solemn oath. How do I know you're not lying? Everything you said was just to trick me into handing over 043. I heard your conversation. You're trying to complete Project Eden. That's a common goal you share with Igla. I don't believe you abandoned something that important just to convert me. Alpha's voice trembles slightly, though she tries to keep it steady. She peers at Chilovic with a mix of hope and doubt, waiting for an answer, seeking confirmation that the woman before her is telling the truth. Chilovic slaps her thigh and bursts into exaggerated laughter. Oh, darling, you underestimate me. I'm a genius who can multitask. I can win you over and complete Project Eden at once. Like dancing a perfect duet. My feet stepping one way, my hands moving another. Then, what exactly is Project Eden? Oh-ho? You really want to know that badly? She arches an eyebrow, leaning forward as if sharing a grand secret. In her eyes, Alpha has clearly been shaken by the offer and is starting to waver. Alright then, since you're so curious, I'll let you in on the gist of it. She steps closer to the observation window, lowering her voice. Project Eden is a magnificent project, one that can change humanity's destiny. Through a flower that draws in butterflies, we'll get a glimpse of a new world no one has ever set foot in. A world without war, without disease, without pain. A world of nothing but joy, happiness, and eternity. She spreads her arms and closes her eyes, as if already seeing it. In that world, everyone can shed the shackles of flesh and gain eternal life. Everyone can realize their dreams. The possibilities are endless. All this requires a qualified flower to serve as the essential key. That word. Her eyes snap open and blaze with frenetic light. She has revealed another new term. It's not new. Shut the fuck up. Key. Do you understand now, sweetheart? It's time for you to decide. Chilovic smiles faintly, tossing the key towards Alpha. She doesn't notice that while she was busy making her impassioned speech, Alpha's gaze has already grown cold. The faint hesitation has vanished completely, leaving only scorn and fury. It really does sound magnificent. So basically, you plan to use that child to open the gateway that activates the relics? You built a device that imitates a starfish, didn't you? No wonder you needed to direct group to gather collapsed particles. What exactly do you want to do with this space triggered by the relics? Alpha's rapid-fire questions catch Chilovic completely off guard. You. Wait, how do you know all this? Chilovic's smile freezes, shock and anger flashing across her face. She rushes to the her terminal, only to discover the central system's firewall has already completely failed. That's when it dawns on her. Alpha has infiltrated the servers. She may have read all the classified data. You played me? Her voice turns sharp, her sweet smile twisted into something grotesque. Looks like you're not as smart as you think. What do you think I care? Where do you think I came? This time, it is Alva whose voice is dripping with open mockery. But at least you got one thing right. You don't hold a candle to Dr. Shaw. To be fair, she did act like a Bond villain. Chilevig's expression shifts rapidly. Anger, hurt, rage, before finally settling on a warm smile. Huh. What a pity. I was actually going to give you a chance. How generous of me. But since you don't know what's good for you... She slams her hand against the observation window with a deafening bang. I see you've heard your previous treatment. No matter. Since you survived the neural attacks, let's see how you fare in reality. I sure hope you can keep up that tough attitude next time, sweetheart. A sick smile spreads across her face as she presses her face up close to the glass. Alva no longer hides her fury. She glares at Chilevig with open contempt and disgust. Oh, I will. I will make parodies, as well as the Gerard group, pay for everything you've done. As for you, I will personally twist your head off. I will make you pay for insulting Ange. She guffaws, as if she's just heard the funniest joke. I'm really looking forward to it, Applechica. Very much looking. Suddenly, red lights flash throughout the lab. Alarms flood the room. What? The smile freezes on Chilevig's face as she stares at Alva in disbelief. The hell have you done? Alva answers with a hint of derision. What do you think? Chilevig stands stunned for 3 seconds, then snaps out of it. She rushes back to the terminal, trying to initiate self-destruction, but the system rejects her again and again. You really shouldn't make the same mistake twice. By the way, have you brought poison this time? If not, you better run or be too late. I just remember got lots of things to take care of. I'll come back for you once I'm done. Don't miss me. She blows an exaggerated kiss, then turns and sachets out of the lab without looking back. You're up, Messina. Alva closes her eyes. There is no panic, no hesitation, just calmness that seems out of place on a prisoner in enemy captivity. Her fingers twitch lightly, as if playing a silent melody. Meanwhile, deep beneath the Gerard Crew's facilities, Messina makes her final preparations within the labyrinth sewer system. Messina is leaning against a damp wall. Before her floats a holographic projection of the Gerard Group's underground complex. This is one of the things she prepared before Messina and Alva entered Lviv. Originally intended as a retreat plan, no one thought it would now be used as for an assault. Messina is laden with carefully prepared tactical gear, breaching tools, electronic jammers, spare magazines, and several compact EMP devices. Each has been checked and calibrated to ensure flawless performance. She finishes her third equipment check, shuts down the map, and stands upright. In the corner of the sewer, Helena keeps a clear distance from Messina. She curls up on the protruding pipe in the shadows, watching Messina every move with vigilance. 3 metal spears orbit her, ready to form a defense array. Moving in 1 minute. Messina's voice is low and steady, though it's unclear who she's addressing. She inspects her assault rifle, making sure that every mechanical component is optimal, then seats the magazine in one smooth, silent motion. Helena opens her proficient handling. Watches her proficient handling of the weapon and instinctively shrinks back. The 3 metal spears move at once, forming a miniature protective barrier before her. Voimosina notices the movement but shows no emotional response. She simply continues with her preparations, scanning the surroundings with wolf eye and running self-diagnostics. Route confirmed. Helena leans forward slightly, seemingly curious about Voimosina's muttering, but quickly withdraws when Voimosina looks up to her. Is she up there? Voimosina nods briefly. She takes a small device from her tactical pack. After a moment of hesitation, she sets it on the ground between herself and Helena without moving closer. For emergency, press it and release a wide area interference signal. Helena stares at the device but doesn't reach for it. One of her metal spears glides over, lightly prods it as if checking for danger, then carefully carries it back to her. Voimosina watches calmly, offering no comment. Once Helena has it, she turns back to her own gear. We, the 5 members, have a built-in trackers that only respond to each other. The range is only 2 kilometers. Very archaic signal, but only the 3 of us recognize it. It is a key component of her and Alva's breach formation, and now the lifeline of this rescue mission. Helena listens, awareness easing slightly, though she still keeps her distance. Why'd she stay behind? The question catches Voimosina off guard. She pauses what she's doing and looks at Helena, something subtle shifts in her eyes. For the mission. For you. The short, direct answer seems to weigh on Helena. She lowers her head and murmurs softly. She and Helena are strangers. Helena falls silent, as if pondering what Voimosina just told her. You save her? The question once again gives Voimosina pause. She meets Helena's gaze. Yes. Save? Voimosina nods. I can't take you along. Helena's eyes widen. Take me! No. Voimosina shakes her head. It's dangerous. I can't protect you. Very strong! Helena points at herself. Voimosina draws her broken combat knife and uses the snapped blade to carve a grotesque face on the ground. She's strong. Stronger than me. Helena looks down at the crude drawing. Even generally speaking, it's terrible, but she recognizes the eagle all the same. Super strong. The best autistic back and forth ever. Helena droops, dejected. So wait here. I'll rescue Alva. They come back for you. Helena seems to remember something. The 3 metal spears behind her begin to rotate slowly, emitting a faint hum. One of the spears breaks formation and floats up in front of her. Helena reaches out with her small hands, gently cups the spear and offers it to Voimosina. This, for you. To protect you. Her tone is serious, resolute, like entrusting something precious. Voimosina freezes slightly as she looks at the spear. She may not fully understand Helena's specific circumstances, but she knows his spears are Helena's weapon as well as her defense system. She wants to refuse. Helena needs it more for sure. But seeing the expectant look on Helena's face, she finally relents and accepts this. The spear feels cold in her hand, but the texture doesn't feel exactly metallic to her. Once the spear comes into contact with Voimistina, it seems to gain awareness and floats up to hover at her side. Helena nods in satisfaction. She steps back slightly, her eyes never leaving Voimistina. Voimistina rises to full height and looks up towards the sewer exit once more. Her gaze sharpens, resolute, like a beast about to strike. She takes a deep breath and rolls her shoulders. Her joints crackle slightly. She is ready. No one will stop her. Whoosh! She launches upward like a battering ram, smashing through the metal grate in an instant. The entrance is torn open, and a shaft of bright light comes pouring down. The light falls on Helena, who has stayed behind on her own. She lifts her head slightly, waiting in silent obedience. Bathroom break, we'll be right back. You know, Voy and Helena kind of reminds me of the Mandalorian. No, with the Mandalorian and Baby Yoda. I think that'd be a fantastic duo. I'm in. Sitting over the security system's plans now. Coordinates shared. Copy that. Wait for me. The baby cradles a giant mech.
脅威を排除する。
配置完了。射撃準備。
Bonk, bonk, bonk.
ご命令を。
Rapid, heavy footsteps echo through the empty corridor. If not for Alva's signal guiding her, Voimastina would never have discovered the secret paradise laboratory hidden inside this glossy, immaculate building. She can't find, nor does she bother to look for, the switch to any hidden door. After confirming the location, she simply mashes through the wall with brute force. Yeah, it sounds like her, revealing the dark patches beyond. Helena's metal spear falls close behind. It emits a beam of blue light that's to scan the passage for traps and surveillance devices. Then it precisely fires several jamming pulses that cripple the electronics along the way. After destroying the automated sentry turrets lining the corridor, she drives a powerful kick into the heavy metal door, standing at the far end, producing a deafening crash. Under the tremendous force, the metal doors twist and caves inward, nearly tearing free from its frame. The hinges let out an agonized screech, like a cry of pain under unbearable strain. Debris flies. Dust fills the air. As the door finally collapses completely, Voistina's figure appears in the laboratory entrance like an unscalable mountain. She takes in the busy marionette doll, researches the complex instruments and machinery, but in the end, her gaze settles on the specially designed hibernation capsule. Without even confirming the signals, she knows that Alva is in there. Likewise, despite being trapped inside the capsule, Alva is aware of Voimastina's arrival. Her voice, coming from within the capsule, sounds weak, utterly different from when she confronted Chidovik earlier. Weak, but unmistakably clear. More importantly, there is an air of inevitability in her tone, as if everything has unfolded exactly as she calculated. The moment Voimastina steps into the lab, the once busy marionette dolls abruptly turn towards her in unison, their eyes glowing a terrifying red. Blades and firearms extended from the hands, once used to research, with a whoosh. And the very next second, they all lunge at Voimastina together. At that instant, Helena's metal spear deploys its full weapon system, transforming into a floating spherical turret. Precise energy beams fire from multiple angles, striking key points on several marionette dolls and opening a path for Voimastina. These dolls are even stronger than the guards outside. A blade hacks into Voimastina's frame, carving a deep wound. Move. But Voimastina pays it no mind. She grabs one of them and yanks hard, tearing off the arm with the polymer vibration blade attached to it. Without a single pause, she swings its severed limb like a weapon. The limb slants to another doll's head with a tremendous force. Its skull explodes instantly, electronic components and oils spraying everywhere. Voimastina's movements are clean, decisive, and packed with raw power. In the next moment, she has already closed in on the remaining dolls. Weapons extended from their arms fire continuously. Bullets rain down on Voimastina, sending sparks flying violently across her frame. Yet she seems unfazed, her steps never slowing. Soon, only one figure remains standing in the laboratory. She stands amidst the wreckage, her body splattered with synthetic blood and machine oil. I want to say someone once asked me if dolls bleed, but this should be the smoking gun for most people. Doll, strong as she may be, Void Mestina is still covered in wounds. The metal spear hovers at her side, scanning the remains on the floor, checking for any units that haven't been fully disabled. Ignoring the spear, she strides straight towards the castle, holding Alva. She lifts her right arm and drives it straight into the metal hatch like a blade. God damn it, intrinsics. I'm not commenting on that. Then she hooks her thumb in and rips hard, tearing the castle door right off. Alva sits quietly inside. I'm fine. Everything went according to plan. Her voice is a bit soft, but her eyes are razor sharp and fully alert. Mestina lowers her gaze to the cables and restraints binding Alva's frame. Having fought her way here with sheer violence, she now becomes careful and precise, slowly removing each restraint. The torn cables, still sparking, silently testify to the torment Alva endured while imprisoned. Wires snap with crackling pops, sending sparks flying. Restraints tear loose with ripping hisses, falling to the floor. Soon, Alva is completely free. The moment she regains her freedom, she stands up on her own without waiting for Void Mestina's help. No greetings, no visible relief. She just gently pushes Void Mestina aside and walks straight towards the terminal at the center of the lab. Her objective is crystal clear, as if every step has long been planned. At this moment, Alva looks less like a rescued captive and more like an operative who finally reached her target. Where's Helena? Alva extracts an auxiliary digit from her hand, then draws a data cable from the back of her neck and plugs it directly into the terminal. The motion is fluid, nothing like someone who has just survived an almost lethal neural attack, and far more than like a hunter finally lunging for her prey. Sewers. Told her to stay there. Alva frowns slightly with some concern. Void Mestina keeps her eyes on Alva, running rapid diagnostics with her wolf eye. Once she confirms there's no severe damage, tension in her body eases almost imperceptibly. Safe over there. She then scans the room and locates the equipment stripped from Alva. Alva says nothing, her eyes already flashing once more with cascading green data streams. Also, there's a comms link. Having retrieved Alva's gear, she moves to her side and re-equips everything piece by piece as Alva focuses on copying data. At the same time, she points at the hovering metal spear Helena gave her, indicating that it can serve as a communicator. Your cloud has taken quite a hit. I don't recommend hacking this at this time. Every second counts, Void Mestina. If I don't do this, there'll be no point to everything we've done. I learned more about the truth behind Project Eden. As expected, it's far more complex than we thought. I need to know more. And there's something else. They said there's an engram of Angelia's consciousness is still in Imperator's database even now. That engram needs to be deleted. She deserves to rest in peace. Alva doesn't turn her head, even as Void Mestina finishes helping her gear up. She remains fully focused on the terminal. Before the reinforcements arrive, before Igla returns, we must decrypt and copy as much data as possible. We still know far too little about Paradis. It took me 2 minutes and 42 seconds to breach the building and leech her slab. They had plenty of time to react. If we don't retreat in time, freaking out would be extremely difficult once that doll returns. I know. Alva doesn't waver. On the monitor before her, the data scrolls mirrors her flashing eyes.
ここのデータを持ち出すことができれば
Data here is critical.
素体が破壊され
If
て
we can send them out,
が来る
even if we fall here, it'll be worth it.
分かった
Understood. Voimacina nods. No longer ejecting, she heads towards the lab entrance that she has wrecked, crouches down, and begins setting traps. Our lines continue to weld throughout the lab and corridors. Amidst flashing red lights and piercing sirens, Voimacina and Alba works in silence, swiftly assuming their respective roles. Even after completing every preparation she can, Voimacina says nothing more. She simply positions herself behind Alba and stands guard. She will protect Alba and fight for her decisions. In turn, Alba handles everything else, pointing Voimacina towards the path forward. Just as it's always been.
404を敵に回したのが運の尽きよ。
Inside the lab, aside from the shrill alarm looping endlessly, the only sounds are the low hum of operating machinery and the soft tapping of Alba's fingers striking the keyboard. On the screen, a progress bar crawls forward at an agonizing pace, as if racing against time itself. Every second seems unbearably long. Next time, don't pull this kind of stunt again.
保証はできないけど
No promises,
するよ
but it probably won't ever happen again.
この方法が通用するの
The same trick won't work twice. If they catch you next time, they'll farm into our cloud
メン
outright.
タルを直接破壊されるだろうね
We could have done that this time,
あなたがいるから
but you came.
大丈
Yeah, whatever. It's not like I care. Lena's hidden.
終わったらすぐに向かい
Once things are settled here, we'll leave together. Alba's gaze is focused and intent. Even as she speaks to Voimacina, her eyes remain locked on the progress bar. Her fingers dance rapidly across the keyboard as if playing an impassioned piece of music. Suddenly, at this critical moment, a thunderous explosion erupts from outside the door, so loud it drowns out even the blaring alarm. The lab walls shudder, as if struck by an earthquake. Alba's hands pause for less than half a second before calmly resuming their work. Unlike last time, Alba did not give Chilovic a chance to self-destruct. She could not destroy the data in the computer or wipe the hard drives. There is far too much intelligence here that they need, including the true detailed files of Project Eden. Voimacina raises her head. She gazes through the laboratory door, through the long corridor but beyond, and into the distance. She's here. Voimacina says it calmly, as if stating something utterly trivial. She racks the bolt and grips a high polymer vibrating blade stripped from the marionette doll. I'm going. Good luck. Alba does not turn around, but she feels the faint movement of air behind her. Soundlessly, Voimacina's figure vanishes from the laboratory. And she knows stealth now? Nice! In the corridor, dust and smoke slowly disperse, revealing a graceful silhouette. Ela calmly strides through the wreckage left by the explosion, as though out for a leisurely stroll. Her suit remains perfectly pressed, her high heels click crisply against the rubble. Behind her follows a fully armed elite unit. Igla comes to a halt, lightly straightening her cuff. Her gaze settles ahead on Voimestina, who is standing like an unbreakable bulwark, blocking the way to the lab. I'm sorry, bulwark is not her class.
Oh,
Igla's voice is soft as velvet, yet carries undeniable force. She inclines her head slightly as if greeting an old friend.
こんなところでお会いするとは意外ですね。
Miss Voimestina, what an unexpected encounter. I thought I would be meeting Miss Alva instead. But only after a few steps, she stops once more. None of the guards behind her are human soldiers. All of them are marionette dolls, directly under Igla's command, each personally selected and modified by her, capable of making short work of an ordinary tactical squad. Igla stands at the doorway, her gaze cold and sharp as a blade. And before her, on the road leading to the lab, that familiar figure blocks her path once again. This alone is reason enough for her to stop. Voimestina does not respond. She gently sets the assault rifle in her hands down against the wall, then retrieves 2 long blades from her waist, gripping one in each hand. It's dual wielding time! After their previous clash, both she and Igla know full well that conventional firearms are meaningless against tactical dolls of their caliber. Igla watches Voimestina's movements, her lips curling into a smile.
その武器。なるほど。
Ah,
確かに
your
そう
choice of weapons reveals your intent. I understand. I'm weak. She lifts a hand lightly, signaling the unit behind her to halt.
手出し無用です。
Please wait, my friends. This is a private invitation from an honored guest. Igla steps forward, her movements fluid and elegant, like a ballerina taking center stage. Her right hand brushes the slender rapier at her waist. Her left draws the silver and gold pistol, only to return to its holster a moment later.
私たちの対応に重火器は
Firearms at our level of discourse do seem a bit lacking in taste. She holsters the pistol and calmly draws the rapier from her waist. Under the lights, the blade gleams a cold luster.
ようやく全体
I must admit, I'm beginning to see the whole picture now. Her voice remains gentle, yet carries a peculiar note of admiration.
アルバさんの作戦には驚か
Miss
ない
Alva's plan is indeed impressive.
まさか私
Her catching was no accident.
計画の
It was a
動き
deliberate arrangement.
結果的に
A meticulously
彼女の
designed
秘密
trap
に触れさせ
meant to lure us into bringing her into the core area, granting her access to classified data she otherwise could never reach.
アルバさんがデータを
And you, Miss Voimestina, are now the final piece of the board, tasked with blocking any force that might interrupt the data transmission. Igla lightly flicks her rapier, tracing a graceful arc through the air.
その大胆さ
Such audacity, such courageous execution. It is truly astonishing.
反逆正体は
Task Force Defiant reputation is well deserved. When I come face to face with Miss Alpha again, I must formally apologize for my earlier discourtesy. Void remains silent. She lowers her center of gravity slightly and shifts into an optimal combat stance. Her wolf eye is running at high speed, analyzing Igla's every movement and possible lines of attack.
その沈黙
I take your size of confirmation.
私たちは敵対する
Still,
国にあります
allow me to express my
あなた
personal
やアルバ
respect.
さんには敬意を
Though we stand on opposing sides, I sincerely admire your and Miss Alva's courage and intellect. Igla's tone is earnest, yet a dangerous glint flashes in her eyes.
しかし
However,
は全く責め
respect is respect, and duty is duty.
あなた方を見逃す
I cannot allow your plan to succeed. Miss Orphaling's future, the fate of the Gerard Group, and the completion of Project Eden all outweigh my personal feelings. She raises her rapier and pointed at Voymastina menacingly. How much longer? How long does Miss Alva need to finish the data transfer? 5 minutes? 10? Igla studies Voymastina's reactions closely, though she remains utterly stoic and unresponsive. I see. It seems I must quicken the pace. She steps forward, the sound of her high heels striking the floor crisp and clear. Miss Voymastina, please forgive my forthcoming discourtesy. I will endeavor to ensure this process is both efficient and dignified. You talk way too much. Void finally speaks, her comment brief and blunt. Igla lets out a soft chuckle, the warmth in her eyes vanishes, replaced with icy focus. Then let actions replace words. She bends her knees and assumes the on guard position in fencing. My apologies. I'm afraid I must interrupt Miss Alva's work. Let's see. Yeah, this song is awesome, by the way. Where do I watch you out? Hold on. Alright. The clash of metal on metal echoes through the empty corridor like a piece of meticulously composed music. Every thrust of Igla's blade is graceful and dazzling, as though she is dancing a waltz rather than fighting for her life. The rapier traces perfect arcs through the air. Though her movements are filled with flourishes, each strike is measured to the millimeter, leaving no opening at all. Voymastina answers with steady, precise blocks. The twin blades in her hands become extensions of her body, every motion stripped with excess, just like her personality. The battle between two top-tier tactical dolls have long surpassed the bounds of ordinary combat, resembling an intense performance instead. I must admit, your fighting style is quite impressive, Miss Voymastina. Igla's voice remains mild and velvety, yet every word carries a razor-sharp killing intent. She speaks even as she threads her attack through nearly impossible angles. The rapier seems almost alive as it hunts for the tiniest gap in Voymastina's defense. So plain, yet exquisitely precise. Truly a pleasure to behold. Even in battle, I can't help but offer you my sincere respect. Her high heels strike the floor in an elegant rhythm. Each step part of a dance, each step carrying a lethal threat. Voymastina does not respond. All of her attention is focused on the fight. Her body is already covered in wounds. Her combat suit is slashed open in several places, exposing synthetic components beneath and the seep of biomimetic blood. Even so, her movements remain precise and efficient, without the slightest hesitation or retreat. You don't seem to be enjoying conversation during battle. What a pity. I had hoped to learn more about the history of Task Force Defy. No sooner does Igla finish speaking than she abruptly accelerates her assault. The rapier leaves after images in the air. Every strike viciously angled at points that are hardest to avoid Messina to defend. At the same time, the few remaining marionette dolls behind her join the fray, attempting to break through Void Messina's defenses from the flakes. Void's wolf eye flashes. The next instant, she twists her body at an almost impossible angle, narrowly evading Igla's deadliest thrust. Simultaneously, her long blade sweeps sideways, leaving a charging marionette doll cleanly in half. Splendid! Your reflexes truly live up to your reputation. Igla inclines her head slightly in genuine admiration. But I'm afraid time is on my side. Miss Alpha's age trap requires time, and the wear on your frame is already quite severe. As if to validate her words, the long blade in Messina's left hand emits an ominous sound of metal fatigue during the next block. With a sharp crack, the blade snaps in two. The broken edge spins away and embeds itself deep into the wall. Void glances expressionlessly at the broken weapon in her hand, then casually discards it and grips the remaining blade with both hands. The stance grows slightly constrained, but her gaze remains as firm as ever, without the slightest hint of retreat. Weapon degradation is often a harbinger of a turning point. Perhaps you should consider a more dignified exit? Igla towards her blade in a flourish, its cold sheen flashing beneath the lights. Her posture is unhurried, as though she holds complete control over the battle. Of course, I fully understand your duty as a guardian. But sometimes, recognizing reality is also a form of wisdom. You're the only one left. Void answers calmly. Her gaze sweeps down the corridor. The marionette dolls under Igla's command has almost entirely annihilated, leaving only a few that are barely able to move. Ah, taking pride in your accomplishments? That is indeed something to be proud of. Igla smiles faintly, her eyes sharpening further. But you seem to have forgotten. Even if I'm the only one left, the outcome will not change. I will win, and then I will give my regards to Miss Alpha personally. As for you, you will become just another line of data in Jiraku's archives. Void eyes Igla. You really are strong. As strong as me. Igla quirks an eyebrow, a flicker of surprise crossing her eyes. That's a rather unusual way to evaluate yourself. When Dr. Shock first created me, there was no doll in the world stronger than me. We both had terrible personalities, and that we're the same. Void's words are calm and definitive, not boastful. She is merely stating facts. An interesting observation. Are you implying there's some kind of similarity between us? A trace of awareness flashes in Igla's eyes as she subtly adjusts her stance, preparing for the next exchange. You remind me of myself, so I thought I'd offer you a bit of advice. Void lifts a hand to her head and rolls her neck. If losing the title of the strongest doll leaves you with nothing... Before she gets to the end of the sentence, Void Messina suddenly drops low to evade Igla's thrust at an unbelievable angle. The cold glint of the rapier skims just above her head, tipping a few strands of hair. Then you are nothing at all. An insightful take. But I'm afraid you overlooked something crucial. Igla's voice remains calm, but an icy edge creeps into her tone. Her movements suddenly accelerate, the rapier transforming into a curtain of silver light that assaults Void Mastinas from every direction. My reason for senses goes beyond strength. It lies in my unshakable loyalty to the young mistress. That's something you will never understand. Void Mastina strains to block the relentless barrage, fine cracks spread along her remaining blade. Her movements begin to slow slightly, yet her eyes remain keen as ever. At that moment, a burst of precise gunfire rings out from the far end of the corridor. The bullets travel along nearly impossible trajectories through the complex environment, aimed straight at Igla's vitals. Igla reacts instantly. Rapier arcs flawlessly through the air, knocking the bullets aside with ringing clangs, except for one. A single round pierces her shoulder, punching a hole through her pristine suit. Igla's movements falter in an instant. Disbelief flashes across her eyes before hardening into icy fury. Such precise shooting. How unexpected. Go around her! Alva rings out from the end of the corridor, clear and resolute. She stands at a perfect firing position, posture steady, muzzle trained directly on Igla. Without the slightest hesitation, Void Mastina turns and sprints down the corridor at extraordinary speed. I'm afraid I can't allow that. Igla's about to give chase when she notices Alva's muzzle trip slightly, revealing several small devices on the ground, blinking with red light. A chain of explosions erupts, instantly turning the corridor into an inferno. Smoke, debris, and shattered concrete surge from all sides, engulfing Igla in the ruins. From within the dust comes Igla's cold, restrained voice. With a thunderous crash, piled up rubble is hurled aside by immense force. Her figure slowly emerges. Her suit is coated in dust, her flawless hair slightly disheveled, yet her posture remains immaculate, her murderous gaze sharper than ever. However, when the smoke finally clears, Alva and Void Mastina is already gone, vanished around the bend of the corridor. Such perfect coordination, truly awe-inspiring. Igla calmly dusts off her suit and straightens her cuffs. Her movements are unhurried, as though the explosion moments ago was nothing more than a trivial mishap. She touches the communicator at her ear, her voice cold and composed. All security units enter full alert immediately. Retreating targets are extremely dangerous. Do not allow them to escape. Yes, ma'am, we won't allow it, but I don't think we can stop them. I want this entire building under my surveillance. She smooths the wrinkles from her suit, her gaze sharpening like a blade. I will have this resolved completely before young Mitch's dinner time. In a luxurious suite, Zimmerman stands before the full-height window, looking down at the nightscape of Lviv. His fingers drum the window frame lightly, his eyes flashing with apparent anxiety. Back at Evil Dude and Company? Nixon, man. Evil Dude. After a moment's hesitation, he walks to the sofa and sits down, then produces a specially modified encrypted communicator from his inner pocket. He enters a long, complex password and dials a number. The call connects almost instantly. Miss Shilovig, care to explain your actions? Oh, legislator, which part are you referring to? Shilovig's teasing voice comes through the communicator, light and buoyant, as if she's letting him in on some inside joke. I suggest you stop wasting both our times. I'm not nearly in as good a mood as you seem to think. Don't be so snappy, legislator. I was only trying to help. The drawl is playful, yet carries a pointed undercurrent. Help? By help, you mean pulling one of the mission targets out of the Research Institute, just like as my people were preparing to move? You knew perfectly well that compared to killing the disobedient orphanling, that Durchin doll was the far more important objective. The line suddenly goes quiet. Only Chilovic's faint breathing can be heard. You were the one who approached me in the first place, asking me to invest in Project Eden. I assumed we were in close cooperative relationship. And this is how you repay me? So, was this mission a success? What? Of course it's failed! And whose fault do you think that is? Meaning Orphaning's still alive? Zimmerman is suddenly at a loss for words. From the other end comes an intentionally exaggerated peal of laughter. Even without the Durchin doll system present, you still can eliminate a pampered young girl whose hands have only ever touched the lab equipment. Chilovic's voice suddenly turned sharp, like a blade scraping across glass. If Igla had been there, wouldn't she have slaughtered your people like dogs? And you still have the nerve to ask me why I sent the Durchin doll away? Are you an idiot? Zimmerman is left speechless at the barrage of insults. After venting her anger, Chilovic smoothly slips back into her usual teasing tone. The time I brought for you wasn't meant to be wasted like this, you know, dear legislator. Instead of lashing out at me, maybe you should hurry up and investigate why the assassination failed, despite sending your most capable subordinates. Chilovic's voice suddenly drops into a soft whisper, which sounds more menacing than any shout. You mean... Legislator, Gerard's ship is about to sink. That's why we came to you in the first place. But perhaps you misunderstood something. You're not investing in us. We chose to continue the investment. I do hope your performance proves worthy of our trust. Otherwise, you know how fickle I can be. The call cuts off abruptly, leaving only a burst of harsh static. Zimmerman stares at the communicator, his expression unreadable. He takes a deep breath, slips it back into his inner pocket, and sinks into thought. With ample personnel and combat resources, attacking a research institute located in the White Zone should have been effortless. So why did the mission still fail? Because someone had been obstructing his actions all along? A firm knock on the door interrupts Zimmerman's thoughts. Without waiting for a response, the door opens on its own. A tall man in military uniform strides inside. Zimmerman's about to erupt, but when he recognizes the man, he swallows his anger at once and puts on the flawless professional smile from his campaign posters. Legislator, apologies for coming without an appointment. The soldier's tone is level and detached, devoid of any real apology and more of a statement of fact. I thought you were accompanied the deputy minister at the event. The deputy minister sent me. She asked me to remind you, legislator, that your time is running short. That the Girard Group is already on its last legs. It still holds the capital for a final gamble. If tomorrow's experiment proceeds smoothly, Project Eden will restore their global influence to its peak. Legislator, you're a smart man. Within the UNC and across the entire military system, you earned many supporters. But if Sect 5 can produce some convincing results soon, those above may reconsider this cooperation. You guys know K&J's Chief State Sec? Aren't K&J Stasi agents? Stasi agents? Yes. K&J are Stasi agents. Probably got the terms mixed up, but yeah. They're Stasi, not State Sec. Well, neither are actually at this point, but yeah. Neither of them are. Right now. Please be prepared for that. Understood. Zimmerman finally mutters a reply, confidence in his voice quickly replaced by distress. I will personally deliver that third Jin doll into your hands by the end of the day. The officer nods and turns to leave the room without another word. Once the door closes, Zimmerman's smile vanishes instantly, his face twisting into a grotesque expression. He snatches up a nearby wine glass and hurls it violently against the wall. Rah! Shilovik ends the call and looks at the small figure behind her. Oh my, you're finally back, my little flower. Helena trembles uncontrollably as she stares wide-eyed at the woman before her. She tries to make the floating spears protect her, but they aren't responding at all. My lovely little flower, did you forget who gave them to you? Shilovik produces a button and presses it lightly. The spears immediately dim and drop lifelessly to the ground. Even though Miss Snow Wolf messed up play me, I still have my own trump card. Thanks to it, I was able to find you. Helena's voice is barely a whisper, but Shilovik can still make out her words. Someone will come save me. Who? Those two dolls? Shilovik bursts into laughter. They abandoned you all alone in a filthy sewer for the sake of their own plan, and you still trust them? That's hilarious. If they care about you even a little more, I wouldn't have been able to catch you at all. Also, they thoroughly engaged that third Jin doll. I bet they're getting beaten to a pulp right about now. Alright, my dear. Let's not dwell on such unpleasant things. Come now. The reason you exist in this world is about to appear. Let's hurry and get everything ready. Faced with this absurd and bizarre woman, Helena's body continues to shake uncontrollably, but her fear doesn't last long, because her consciousness soon succumbs to darkness. Into a pile of shit. Let me just double check if there are any additional scenes. Because I know for part 3 there are additional scenes in these extra missions. But I don't think so. I don't think it happens here, but I just want to double check. Yeah, that was shorter than I thought it'd be. Like, I literally stopped at the halfway point last night. I expected it to be another 4 hours, but that didn't happen. The cutscenes were a lot shorter compared to when we started out. Lock and load, soldiers. We gotta save our daughter. Oh, story? No, I'm not gonna do that. Not tonight. This is an extra day. I'll do them anyway, just so we can have a chat. But yeah, this is an extra day. I still gotta do things. I still gotta prepare for tomorrow. Tomorrow, as in like I'm going to do my my freaking videos, and then Sunday I gotta celebrate my birthday with my dad. Not my birthday, my dad's birthday. So I'll be going to celebrate my dad's birthday on Sunday. 1.5 is cinema. It is. Yeah, so I wonder why my stream was 9 hours then. When I first didn't see it. Did I do something extra? Or did I actually just talk that much faster during the whole thing? Oh, because of translator? Yeah, that does slow me down for sure. Plus love making number 5. I didn't even make number 4. What her name was. Oh yeah, we did, didn't we? Yeah. Yeah, part 3 is even longer, so I know for a fact that I can split that up in half. Good old needle. But yeah, this is the one. Just that cutscene with Ange. Very heartfelt. I enjoyed that a lot, even for a second read through. Like everyone on Twitter is saying that they're crying, and I gotta step away. I can't play right now. I can't make any jokes. This is just awesome. And here I am, posting about I can drive my tank in this roguelike now. It's like, yo, I can drive my tank. Yeah. I can't wait for part 3. For everyone to see part 3, because obviously I've already seen it. But I can't wait for everyone else to see part 3. As new roguelike is better, for sure. It plays the same, but at least there's content now. She's a tank. And the roguelike mechanics themselves is actually better. Spend your points. I'll spend them later. Fuck up. I got like, what? 39 days? It's fine. How good was 1.5? Are you asking that? I mean, Corposant as a whole is fantastic. It's my... I want to say Mirror Stage is still my favorite. But Corposant, it's really close. Like, really, really, really close. Yeah, I kind of wish the artifact recovery just had more to do than just going to the next stage, really. You spent both accounts? No. I used to, but... Or rather, the idea was that I was going to play both because of translation stuff. But then I learned of the translation patch, and then I thought, okay, CN is like gonna be the thing I'm going to spend money on, and I'm gonna leave Global behind. But then Global said, "Oh yeah, we're gonna catch up to CN." It's like, you know what? Yeah, I'll just go back to my Global account. But no, it's too much money. Just maintain 2 accounts. I basically only use CN just to keep up with the CN story. That's basically it. I don't play it. It's interesting to see people saying it's too short, as long as it's been to date. There's some saying too long skip. Who's saying it's too short? That's a strange thing to say. See Ran with Orphaline talks. The similarities are there, but Ran is kind of like a blueprint for a lot of sundays. Link for the fan translation. Oh yeah, I was shocked. How the research. Oh, the actual voice? Yeah, I can see it. Yeah. They're pretty similar. There's someone in chat saying it was too short. I must have missed that then. Yeah, I don't know why they would think it's too short. Like, it was part 1.5. It was like, I want to say it's like 7 hours, 6-7 hours. Oh, I said the number. Yeah, 6 to 7 hours. That's standard. How's it too short? And it's one part. I really thought you knew. No, I did not know. I actually did not know. Yeah, short as Jang Yu, yeah. $69 for 20. Where the fuck is Lainey? That is going to be an interesting thing to think about because we have no idea when they're going to drop her down. We just know that she's coming in the first half this year. They said that for a fact. It was over. For Jingyu, that's funny. On the collab, I'm gonna assume it's Evangelion. That's like the easiest thing to collab with these days. Is it because she is cute? Well, first, yes, but two, no. It's because Lainey has extreme importance in Girls from Line 1. He's actually a very extremely important doll that's kind of sets off Squad 404 on their journey. She has a huge amount of relevance to Girls from Line 1. And yes, her boobs are huge, but that's like actually the minor part. Well, Lainey isn't actually 40. It doesn't matter though. That's a yesn't. Yeah. That doesn't matter at all. She still has a huge relevance to Girls from Line 1. A massive amount, actually. Like, without Lainey, 45 would actually be dead. Straight up. For Void to do even more damage because I'm a meta slave. I also like her gameplay. She's one of the few characters that I can genuinely say I really like her gameplay. She has a cool thing going on with her gameplay. Even though it's like not good at base, you kind of need her key and make her awesome. Shadow Clone Jutsu. Alright, let me check a few things. Yeah, not in yet, huh? And then I guess I am going to... Yeah, I guess I'm going to do my thing. I bet fuck yeah, low dupes. Yeah. But, alright. It is time for me to fuck off. I'm gonna go get work done. So... Tuesday? What's going on Tuesday? On Tuesday. What's happening Tuesday? Is anything going on Tuesday? I don't think there is there? Yeah, that might be a PNC stream. This time it might actually be a PNC stream. Roll like most story. That's not a bad idea. But it has been a while since we stepped back into PNC as well. So I might do that. Like, are we still halfway through a chapter in PNC? We kind of need to finish that. We were at a good stopping point. But yeah, we do need to finish that. Maybe I'll leave Thursday for the roguelike. Okay, well, so we'll leave it at that. Definitely on Tuesday we'll do a PNC and finish that chapter. Okay, that's it for me. You guys take care. I'll see you all on Tuesday. Q&A when? This is my Twitter. You can QA me on Twitter.